An inspection report can make a house feel completely different in one afternoon. Before the report, you're picturing furniture, weekend, maybe even where the coffee maker would go. After the report, the same house suddenly looks like a 47-page warning label. The moment gets a lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers. Especially first-time home buyers who are already trying to learn Minnesota, the Twin Cities, the neighborhoods, the weather, the commute, and the house buying process all at once. A long inspection report does not automatically mean the house is bad. A short report does not automatically mean the house is safe. The real skill is knowing which items change your risk and which ones are a part of owning a house. And that is what I want to help you sort out. Not every repair needs to become a fight. Some items deserve real attention before you move forward. Other things might be a normal homeowner maintenance, cosmetic preferences, or something you handle later. The goal is not to win the inspection report. The goal is to make sure the home still makes sense after you understand what you are buying. Before I break this down, comment the inspection item that would stress you out the most. Roof, electrical, water, foundation, furnace, plumbing, sewing, or something else. That answer usually tells you what part of the process you want explained more clearly. The report is not a repair menu. The biggest inspection mistake I see buyers make is treating the report like a menu of things the seller should fix. That mindset creates problems quickly. A home inspection is not there to turn a used home into a brand new house. It is there to show you the condition of the property before you fully commit. That distinction matters. A resale home will usually have maintenance items. Older Twin City homes may have aging systems, older windows, dated finishes, basement corks, small repairs, and a sign that real people have lived there. That does not mean you ignore the report. That means you read it with the right filter. I like to ask one question first. Does this issue change the risk of owning the home? If the answer is yes, it probably deserves attention. If the answer is no, it may still matter, but it may not belong in the center of the negotiation. That one shift helps buyer calm down. Instead of reacting to every photo and every note, you start sorting the report by impact. Safety has a different weight than paint. Water intrusion has a different weight than a loose doorknob. A furnace concern does not belong in the same mental category as a cracked outlet cover. Once you stop treating every item equally, the inspection gets much easier to understand. The first category is safety. Safety items move towards the top of the list because it affects how responsibly someone can live in the home. That can include exposed wiring, unsafe deck condition, missing smoke or carbon dioxide detectors, tripped hazards, loose wiring, stair issues, improper electrical protection near water, or anything that creates a clear risk. Some safety repairs are simple. Other repairs are licensed professionals. The cost is not always the reason they matter. A cheap repair can still be important if it protects someone from getting hurt. First-time buyers sometimes underestimate small safety items because they do not sound dramatic. Relocation buyers may do the opposite and panic because the report uses strong languages. Neither reaction helps. A better response is to separate concern from cost. Ask whether the issue is active, unsafe, improperly installed, or likely to create a problem if ignored. That gives the conversation a practical starting point. When a seller sees a reasonable safety request, it often feels very different from a buyer asking for every cosmetic flaw to be corrected. You want your repair list to show judgment. That starts by focusing on the issue that generally affects safe use of the home. The second category is water. Water gets its own category in Minnesota. A home here deals with snow, spring melt, heavy rain, freeze-thaw cycle, grading, gutters, basement, and drainage. Because of that, moist issues deserve a closer look. Not every water comment means disaster. A disconnected downspout is not the same as an active basement seepage. Old stains does not always mean that it is a current leak. A musty smell, visible moist, foundation concern, poor grading, roof leakage, damaged gutters, or repeated water intrusion can change the conversation fast. The important part is finding the resource. Where did the water come from? Is it active? Has it been repaired? Could this issue return during the spring thaw and heavy rain? Would a specialist need to evaluate it? Those questions matter because water can affect more than one part of the house. It can touch the basement, foundation, walls, flooring, air quality, and a long-term maintenance budget. That is why I do not like brushing off moist concerns just because the kitchen looks great. Pretty finishes do not cancel out a wet basement. At the same time, I also do not want buyers assuming every moist note means that they should walk away. Some water issues are manageable when you understand them early. The problem starts when nobody asks the right question before closing. The third category is the first year budget. After safety and water, I want buyers to think about the first year of ownership. A lot of inspection stress comes from not knowing what could cost money soon. The roof, furnace, air condition, water heater, electrical panel, plumbing, sewer lines, windows, and major appliances can all affect the first year comfort level. An older system is not automatically a problem. A furnace that is near the end of its expected life creates one conversation. A furnace with a safety issue creates another. A roof with normal age does not carry the same urgency as a roof with active leaking. The difference matters because buyers can make poor decisions when they only react to age. Home age, system wear down. The real question is whether the item is functioning, safe, insurable, financeable, and likely to create a major cost sooner than you expected. A first-time buyer should be especially careful here. Your down payment and closing costs may already be using a lot of your available cash. If the home also needs major repairs after closing, the monthly cost may not be the only pressure. That does not mean you should avoid every home with older systems. It means your offer, negotiation, and comfort level should affect the actual condition. You want to know what ownership may look like after the excitement wears off. Electrical issues need the right level of respect. Electrical items can look scary in the report because most buyers do not know what the language means. Some findings are small. Other concerns deserve a licensed electrician opinion. A loose outlet, missing cover, or non-working switch may be fairly manageable. Panel concerns, exposing wires, overheating, improper condition, older wiring concerns, or unsafe conditions should be taken more seriously. The key is not guessing. I do not expect buyers to become electrical experts because they received an inspection report. Your job is to recognize when the issue affects safety, cost, or confidence. From there, you decide whether you request a repair, ask for more evaluation, or understand the cost before moving forward. Electrical problems can also matter because they may connect to insurance, lender requirements, or future renovation plans. That depends on the property and the situation, so those details should be verified during the transaction. The report is the starting point. A qualified professional may need to give the clear answer. That extra step can make the difference between fear and useful information. Plumbing can hide in plain sight. During a showing, most people notice the kitchen, bathroom, flooring, and natural light. Few buyers are studying supply line, drains, shutoffs, water heater, sewer lines, and a sign of past leak with total confidence. This is why inspections matter. A slow drain may be minor. Active leaking, old piping concerns, sewer issues, water heater problems, poor water pressure, or staying near plumbing fixtures can carry more weight. Older homes around the Twin Cities can make this category especially important because updates may have happened in stages over time. One bathroom might be updated, another part of the plumbing system could still deserve attention. That does not make the home bad. It makes the review more important. If plumbing shows up on the report, the next question should be about scope. Is it one small repair? Does it point to a larger system issue? Should a plumber evaluate it? Could it affect your budget soon after closing? Those answers help you decide whether the item belongs in negotiation or it is your future maintenance plan. Roof concerns can change the whole deal. A roof issue can affect the negotiation because it may involve cost, insurance, water risk, and timing. A roof does not need to be brand new for a home to make sense. Plenty of buyers purchase homes with roofs that aged on them. The concern is whether the roof is functioning properly and whether a major expense is coming sooner than the buyer understood. Missing shingles, damaged flashing, active leaks, soft decking, poor ventilation, stain, or visible storm damage may deserve more attention. A general inspector may recommend a further evaluation if something looks concerning. That is often the smart next step. You do not want to guess on a major roof question. You want to understand the condition, likely repair costs, and whether the issue needs to be addressed before closing. This is especially important in Minnesota because weather puts a lot of damage on the roof. Snow, ice, rain, wind, and seasonal changes all test home over time. If the roof has a problem, you may not stay isolated. Water can find its way into the rest of the property. So if the roof concern appeals, slow down enough to understand it clearly. A good deal can still be good with a roof issue, but only if the risk is priced, negotiated, or accepted on purpose. If you ever received an inspection report and thought, I have no idea what matters here, you are not alone. Comment the one repair category you would want explained before you felt comfortable moving forward. That is usually where the inspection conversation should slow down. What is usually not worth fighting over? Now for the part buyers do not always want to hear. Some inspection items may not be worth fighting over. That does not mean there are fake problems. It means they may not be strong negotiation priorities. Cosmetic wear, paint touch-ups, small drywall dents, worn carpet, loose cabinet hardware, missing outlet covers, old appliances that still work, basic caulking, minor weather striping, and normal maintenance items that fall into this category. Every deal is different, but buyers should be careful about spending negotiation energy on items that do not change the risk of ownership. A seller may take your request more seriously when it is focused. If you ask for every tiny issue, the bigger concerns can be buried. That is why I like to separate preference from problem. You may not like the paint color, that does not make it a defect. A carpet may be dated, that does not necessarily mean the seller should replace it. Cabinet poles might be loose, that problem should not matter as much as a roof leak. This is where buyers can protect themselves emotionally. A home does not have to be perfect to be good to purchase. It does need to make sense. The items that depend on your situation. Some repairs fall into the middle. They are not clearly urgent, but they are not meaningless either. Older windows are a good example. They may affect comfort, energy use, and future costs, but they may not be something the seller agrees to replace. An aging water heater might still be working. A driveway can be worn but usable. Tree maintenance may matter depending on your location and risk. Aging appliances can create a future expense without making the home unsafe. These items require judgment. Your budget matters, your loan type may matter, the competitiveness of the deal matters, the seller's position matters, your timeline matters too. A buyer with cash reserves may feel comfortable accepting certain future maintenance items. Someone already stretching thin may need a different conversation. That is why there is no universal repair list that works for every buyer. The same inspection item can mean different things depending on the person buying the home. That is where guidance matters. The question is not only, is this broken? A better question is, does this change whether the home fits my life after closing? Specialists are not a bad sign. A specialist recommendation can make buyers nervous. I understand why. When the report says to contact a roofer, electrician, plumber, structural engineer, sewer inspection, chimney professional, HVAC technician, or mold specialist, it can feel like the home suddenly becomes risky. Sometimes the recommendation is simply the right way to get clarity. A general inspector sees a broad picture. A specialist gives you a deeper opinion on one area. That can help you negotiate with better information. It can also help you feel more comfortable moving forward. Maybe the issue is smaller than it looked. Perhaps a specialist confirms a larger concern. Either outcome is better than guessing. A vague fear can make every decision feel harder. A clear answer gives you something to work with. So if an inspector recommends further evaluation, do not automatically assume the deal is falling apart. Treat it as a signal to get more information before making a final decision. Repair, credit, or walk away. After the report is reviewed, buyers usually have three broad paths. They can ask for repairs, they can request a credit or adjustment when appropriate, they can decide the home no longer makes sense. Which path fits depends on the issue. Some repairs may need to happen before closing because they affect safety, financing, insurance, and habitability. Other items may be better handled through a credit if the contract, lender, and the situation allows it. Certain discoveries may be serious enough that the buyer no longer feels comfortable moving forward. That last option should not be used casually. Walking away from a home can be the right choice when the risk is too high. It can also be an emotional reaction if a buyer does not fully understand the report. That is why the review process matters so much. You want to know whether the issue is fixable, expensive, urgent, negotiable, or simply part of a normal home ownership. A strong repair request is not about getting everything you want. It's about addressing the item that materially changes your decision. How I would prioritize the report. If I were helping you sort through an inspection report, I would not start off with the number of items. I would start off the weight of the items. Safety concerns come first. Water issues move high on the list because they can spread into bigger problems. Major systems deserve attention because they can affect the budget after closing. Roofing, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, sewer, foundation, and structural items should be understood before you commit. Cosmetic and routine maintenance items go into a different category. That process keeps the report feeling like one giant pile of problems. It also helps you avoid two common mistakes. One buyer panics over a normal maintenance and loses a home that still made sense. Another buyer ignores a serious issue because they love the home too much. Neither one is where you want to be. A better inspection response is calm, specific, and connected to your actual risks. The real goal after an inspection. An inspection should not destroy your excitement. It should make your excitement more informed. That is the whole point. Before inspection, you mostly know how the home looks and feels. After an inspection, you understand more about how the home functions. That information may confirm your decision, it may create room for negotiation. In some cases, it may tell you to slow down or walk away. What you do not want is confusion. A buyer should not leave the inspection period thinking every issue is terrifying. A buyer should also not move forward pretending nothing matters. The middle ground is where the best decision usually happens. You take the report seriously, and then you sort it with perspectives. So when your inspection report comes back, do not let the length of the document make the decision for you. Focus on what changes risk, safety items deserve attention, water concerns need clarity. Major systems can affect your first year budget. Electrical, plumbing, roof, HVAC, sewer, foundation, and structure issues should be understood before closing. Cosmetic items and normal maintenance may still matter, but they should not always drive the negotiation. The best buyers do not try to get the perfect house after inspection. They try to understand the house well enough to make a confident decision. If you're buying in the Twin Cities and your inspection report has you wondering what is normal, what is negotiable, and what might be a real concern, feel free to reach out. This is exactly the conversation I help buyers work through during the process. And if you want more first-time home buyer guidance, relocation advice, and practical Twin City real estate videos, make sure you subscribe. I will keep helping you understand the part of buying a home that usually feels stressful until someone explains them clearly.